my redundancy's over. I've managed to get a job. So getting this job was actually quite unexpected. It was one of the first jobs I actually applied for after my redundancy back in June. And I didn't expect to get hired this quickly. I've got a list on topics that I was going to talk about in terms of redundancy and what I'm doing and all that sort of stuff, you know, stuff that I've already covered. But I had further things as well, you know, one I uploaded last week to do with like loneliness, and I had things to do with like the job market. There was a couple of others as well, I can't really remember off the top of my head. And on Monday just gone, I got an email from a company that I had applied for about 2 or 3 weeks ago saying that they would love to offer me a job. From what I can tell so far, it's doing something similar to what my old job was, so it's not really much of a change. This job is only part-time, so you know, it still gives me time to, you know, do my other things on the side, you know, like my gym, my personal projects, and you know, keeping healthy and fit really. But I did not expect to kind of land a job that quickly, you know, not even, I think today is the 6th of August, and I don't know, I didn't really expect to get a job that quickly. I mean, I'm glad, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that, you know, now I have some sort of income coming in, that I'm not so worried about money. But the only thing that I'm trying to work out now is, because my redundancy period is over, you know, I have a job, I've got other things that I'm working on the side as well, which I will probably mention in coming months. I'm a bit stumped of what to do for videos now. I'll most likely still try and post the videos that I was planning to do anyway, just because I know it, you know, will help people out that are in the same situation. So them videos will probably be coming. I'm hoping to try and still keep to a weekly schedule. But, you know, some videos may be a bit further apart just in case, you know, like free time's obviously a little bit more limited now. And the days that I work are like midweek, and the hours that I work are kind of like mid-afternoon or like early afternoon to like early evening. So it kind of like cuts out the middle of my day. So I need to obviously get back into another routine. I think the only advice that I can give for people, you know, if you're still redundant and you're still looking for work, you know, while you have all of this free time, just try and do something which makes you happy. Try and get as much knowledge under your belt as possible, because it will make you feel a lot better. It does for me, in my opinion anyway. You're keeping that, you know, that cognitive learning behavior going, you know, you're constantly keeping active rather than just, you know, sitting down and applying for jobs 24/7, because applying for jobs all the time, it's exhausting. It's a full-time job in itself. If there's something you've always wanted to do, go and do it. Try it. In some sense, I can understand why people get a bit worried about trying new things, because they, you know, they're scared of failure. But for, you know, my personal opinion, if you don't try, you have failed. If you try and it doesn't work out, you haven't failed, because you've tried and you've given something new a go. And to me, that's more of a success than not trying at all. So, you know, I urge anyone who's in, you know, the redundancy period at the minute, struggling to find work, you know, try and do something which makes you happy. Even if you have to get a part-time job somewhere where you don't want to work, just make sure that your bills are paid and all that sort of stuff, really. Just, you know, keep a roof over your head. That's the most important thing. But use this time, you know, utilize the time to learn something new. Go and try something else. Because if you land a full-time job, maybe in a year's time, you may think, oh, I wish I'd given, you know, this or this a go. So while you have the time, do it. A short video this week, and this is actually a short video. I don't have much else to say this week. This was, you know, unexpected. I've just kind of pulled it out and said, oh, you know, I've got a job now. And if you are out there, you know, keep applying, try things that you want to do or always wanted to do because you have the time. And, you know, try and keep your hopes up. It will get better. Even if it doesn't feel like it's going to, it will. That's all from me this week. Hope you enjoyed this very short video. Keep pushing, keep striving, keep happy, keep believing. So on that note, I will end this video. Take care, everyone, and I will see you later.